The third program is intended to count the number of ones and zeros in the given number. So the aim of the program is we have to write an assembly level language program to count the number of ones. Say if it can be a 4-bit number or 8-bit number, whatever it is. Supposing if it is going to be 7, a decimal number 7, then the binary equivalent is going to be 0, 1, 1, 1. In that case, how many zeros and how many ones are there in the value? So in this 4 bits, there is actually 1 0 is available, 3 ones will be available because 7 equal to 0, 1, 1, 1. So there are 3 ones and 1 zeros available. So like that, we have to count the number of zeros and the number of ones in the given number. That is the intention of this particular program. Again, the algorithm, we are going to initialize my R and 1, the general purpose register R1 we can say, to the number and assign the number in which ones and zeros to be counted. So I have to count the number of ones and zeros in this particular number which is initialized with the R and 1. Also, I have to initialize 2 more variables, num1s and num0s, which is going to hold the values of number of ones and number of zeros available in the particular data. And how to identify whether the number of ones or zeros are there. For that purpose, we are going to use the command logical shift right. So whenever we perform a logical shift right, on the left hand side a 0 will be added and all the bits will be shifted to the right hand side. On the right side LSB, which is actually already available, the LSB will be moving into the carry flag. And we should be doing this by updating the flag register. And once this is done, we are going to increment the num1s or num0s based on the carry flag value. If the carry flag is equal to 1, then I am going to increment num1s, and when the carry flag is equal to 0, then I am going to increment num0s by 1. And once all the 8 bits, say for example my data is going to be 8-bit data and all the 8 bits are shifted towards right and all the 8 zeros are added from the left. So once all the values will become 0, and at that point of time we can start the program execution. That is actually the condition for termination. Again, here we are going to see the program. The program has to count the number of ones and zeros. This is actually the director assembly directives. So the first part is common, of course, you can just leave it. We are getting into the second part where we are going to define 3 variables. One is called a number, which is defined in R and 1. Then we are going to initialize R and 10, that is the register 10 as number ones, so that the R10 will be having the number of ones that is available, and R11 will be having the number of zeros available. So we are defining 3 variables, number ones and num0s. And this is actually the part of the program. Here what we are doing is we are going to move R5 with a number which is equal to 0x4 followed by 7 zeros. So each and every value can have 4 bits, so totally there are 8 digits are there. So it's going to be a 32-bit address value which is assigned to the register R5. Then I am going to initialize my LDR number which is equal to 0xa. So A means it is equivalent to 10. The binary value is going to be 1010. So in 1010 you can easily see there are 2 ones and 2 zeros are available in the 4 bits. So that should be our answer. Then I am going to initialize my num1s equal to 0 and the num0s equal to 0 so that I can start counting the values. Then as I said, we are going to have the logical shift right operation followed by an updating the flag. So the flag is actually updated by including or suffixing this LSR by an S value. And how many bits I have to shift right? So only 1 bit will be shifted towards right. Now the LSB which is already available will be moving on to the carry bit or carry flag, we can say. The next command add CS is actually the conditional addition command, a conditional addition command. So this will add only if the carry flag is set. So if the carry flag is set means the carry flag has 1. So I have to increment the num1s into num1s plus 1. So here add 1 to num1s if the carry flag is set. Suppose if the carry flag is not set, then that shows there is a 0 is available there. So in that case, add cc is again an conditional add statement, and the num of zeros will be added with the num zeros plus 1 if the carry flag is cleared. That is, if there is no carry flag, that shows the value is 0. So that is added to num zeros. And once this 1 bit is shifted, we will just check whether all the values are zeros or not. Suppose if the value is not 0, then there are some more 1s or zeros may be present. So I have to go back to the loop by shifting another bit, and I will be checking whether the next bit is going to be 1 or 0. And once this loop is over, the system will be coming out of this loop whenever the number becomes 0. That is, all the 8 bits are shifted. Say for example, I am going to provide an 8-bit number, assuming that here actually it's a 4-bit number. A is actually equal to 1010, it's a 4-bit number. But whatever the number you give, till that number is shifted towards right and all the data is filled with a 0, this loop will get executed. And when the system comes out of this loop, I have to store these two values. One is there in num1s and the other one is in num0s. So the command str num1s is useful for storing the count of number ones in a location that is pointed by the contents of R5. Already we have initialized the content of R5 as 0x4 followed by 7 zeros. So in that location, what is the value available there? The value of num1s will be stored. That is in that particular location, 0x4 followed by 7 zeros. It's going to be a 32-bit number. Whenever I am going to add it, it's going to be a 32-bit number. So if I want to save num0s, then I have to increment this by 4 times, so that 4 into 8, 32-bit, it will be incremented. And in the next location, I am going to store the number of zeros. So once these two instructions are executed, then the number of ones and number of zeros available in the given data is already counted and stored in the respective locations. Then I am going to have a branching loop, which will be an infinite loop which will be running in the same instruction point. This is actually the sample data that is available here. In this case, my Rn1 is initialized to 0a. As I already told you, a is equal to 1010, which is having 2 1s and 2 zeros. And Rn10 and Rn11 are initialized with the number of 1s and number of zeros. And after execution, you can easily see the Rn10 and Rn11 are having a value of 2 and 2. And Rn1 becomes 0 because each and every time we are going to shift the value towards right and by inserting zeros from the left hand side. So Rn1 will become 0 and Rn10 and 11, which are intended for having the number of ones and number of zeros, will become 2 and 2. You can see the register status. On the left hand side, you can see all the values are actually 0. And on the right hand side, you can easily see the value is incremented. That is, R10 and R11 are incremented by 2. So they have the value of 2. So that it shows the number of ones and the number of zeros available in the given data is 2 each.